Have you ever had that feeling that you're looking at the world through a special filter? A filter that kind of colors every single interaction, every success, every failure, but you don't even realize it's there? Well, that filter, that hidden lens we all have, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about that window. This was the question that was just eating me alive. I had just landed this promotion, the one I've been chasing for 3 years. I had the new title, a big salary bump, the celebratory dinner. I had all the things that are supposed to add up to happy. But I wasn't. Honestly, I was terrified. I can still picture it so clearly. My team surprised me with a party, my phone was just blowing up with calls from my proud family, and there I am, sitting there, smiling. But inside, I just felt this cold, creeping dread. It was such a strange and lonely feeling. The feeling that I had somehow tricked every single person in that room. On paper, it was a massive win. Senior marketing manager, a 40% raise. But the voice in my head, it was just brutal. I could not stop thinking about my colleague Sharma. The guy is a quiet genius. He's the one who deserved this, not me. Every time someone said congratulations, it felt like a lie that I was a part of. I remember whispering those exact words to my partner later that night. The fear wasn't just some vague anxiety. No, it was sharp. It was specific. It was the fear of being found out. The fear that my success was basically a temporary clerical error, and that sooner or later someone was going to find it and take it all back. And this whole personal crisis led me to a much, much bigger question. Why is it that so many of us feel chronically less than everybody else, even when all the evidence points the other way? And then you've got the flip side, right? The people who seem to think they're the only competent person in a world of idiots. Why is that simple balance of feeling okay about yourself and feeling okay about others so incredibly hard to strike? Well, my search for an answer led me to this concept that, honestly, it felt like someone handed me a map for my own confusing brain. It's this powerful idea about four hidden windows we look through, four basic stances that we unconsciously take toward ourselves and, well, everyone else. And this map, it's called a life position. Now, what's so wild about this is it's not some philosophy you choose. It's a deep, nonverbal conclusion you came to about life before you were even 4 years old. Think about that. It's the tinted glass you've been looking through for so long, you've completely forgotten it's not clear. And this whole complex framework, it actually boils down to the answers you came up with for two really simple but profound questions as a little kid. First, am I okay? As in, do I have basic fundamental worth? And second, are you okay? Meaning, do other people have fundamental worth? Your gut level answers to those two questions created the tint in your window. So here's where it gets really interesting. The combinations of yes and no to those two questions create four totally different ways of seeing the world. You've got the healthy position, the depressive one, the arrogant one, and the position of futility. And the thing that might surprise you, it turns out most of us don't actually live in the healthy one. And this right here is where it all just clicked for me. It was like a light bulb went off and my whole life suddenly made sense. I was living, without a doubt, in position number 2. My window was permanently tinted with the belief, I'm not okay, but you're okay. Everybody else had it figured out. Everybody else was competent and worthy and deserving. I was the one who was defective. And this just perfectly explains why my promotion felt like a total lie. The I'm not okay filter literally won't allow positive evidence to get through. A success isn't proof that I'm competent. Oh no, it's absolute, irrefutable proof that I got lucky or that I pulled off some elaborate trick. The filter actively distorts reality just to confirm its core belief that I'm not good enough. Living here is it's exhausting. It's a life of constant, painful comparison where you always come up short. It is the engine that drives imposter syndrome, that drives perfectionism, that addiction to getting approval from other people, because you literally can't generate that feeling of okayness from inside yourself. Does any of that sound familiar? For years, I just assumed this feeling was my own personal, shameful secret, my private failure. But the real breakthrough was understanding that this isn't a character flaw. It's a survival adaptation. It's like a piece of ancient mental software installed in early childhood, all designed to make sure we fit into our family, our tribe. It was just a conclusion a little kid made to make sense of their world.
But here is the most hopeful part of this whole thing. Once you can see the tint on the glass, you can start to clean it. The second you realize your feelings are coming from some old program and not from objective reality, that's when you get the power to rewrite the code.
This is the key that unlocks the whole thing. Your life position feels like the absolute truth. It feels like gravity. But it's not. It's just a story you decided on when you were 4 years old. It's a powerful illusion. And just recognizing that it's an illusion, that is the first step to freedom. So I started this very conscious, deliberate process. First, I just learned to notice and name my filter when it showed up. Ah, there's that "I'm not okay" thinking again. Second, I started to question it, to actually argue back. Is it really true that I'm a fraud, or is this just my old filter talking? Third, I became an evidence hunter, actively looking for tiny pieces of proof that contradicted my filter. And finally, I started practicing a new stance, actually saying and doing things from an "I'm okay" position, even when it felt totally fake at first.
And slowly, painstakingly, things really did start to shift. The world outside didn't change, but my view of my place in it, that started to. The glass was definitely getting clearer. So here's a real-world example. A colleague complimented a presentation I gave. Okay, my automatic, pre-programmed thought was this: instant dismissal. A cynical voice in my head immediately said, "She's just being polite. She can't possibly mean that because I know the work was mediocre." But this time, I actually caught that old thought. I paused and I chose a new response. I just said, "Thank you." It felt incredibly awkward, almost arrogant, to be honest, but the world didn't end. And for just a brief second, I let the positive evidence in. In that one little moment, I cleaned a tiny spot on the window. And that's really the big insight here. This whole journey isn't about going from "I'm not okay" to "I'm perfect and amazing." That's just another kind of trap. The real sustainable goal is to move to "I'm okay," fundamentally acceptable, imperfect, flawed, and still completely worthy. Just like everyone else. So I'll leave you with this. Sometime today, just take a quiet moment and think about the tint on your own window. Is it telling you that you're not okay? Or maybe that other people aren't? Because just understanding the filter, that is the first step to finally seeing the world, and more importantly yourself, with fresh eyes. So which window are you looking through?